Engineering structurally sound roads is highly sophisticated work. Some pavements demand more strength than others. Engineers quantify the strength of a pavement using a coefficient and overall structural number. Although these calculations can be quite complex, when it comes to understanding which treatments may be viable options for a given road, this structural calculator from roadresource.org is a simple, handy tool. Find this calculator under the Recycling tab on roadresource.org. Note, the About page has additional examples and explanations. Let's get started on the calculator page. To use this tool, it's helpful to have a specific project or pavement in mind. For the sake of the example, I'll use numbers from real pavement in a Michigan township that became deteriorated due to heavy bus traffic. First, enter the size of the project, 161,000 square yards in this case. Remember that you can update currency and units of measure using the buttons in the corner of the calculator. The current state of my Michigan pavement looks something like this when viewed as a cross-section. It consists of 4 inches of deteriorated asphalt on top of 3 inches of suitable asphalt over a 4-inch granular base. What's the best way to revitalize this pavement and plan for the heavy bus traffic ahead? Some road managers might be quick to propose a 4-inch mill and fill situation. I'd like to check this assumption, so I'm going to enter the proposed solution into the gray left-hand side of the structural calculator. Imagine each line in this calculator represents a treatment on a given layer of pavement. The first thing we'll have to do to our pavement is remove that 4 inches of deteriorated asphalt. Note that there is a cost associated with removing that material over the size of our project. The auto-populated cost reflects a national average. To update these costs or coefficients, simply edit within the calculator itself, or log in and update treatment figures based on your area. I'm going to leave as is for the sake of the example. Because we're simply removing pavement with this first step, this line does not show a structural coefficient. Next in the process, we'll replace that removed layer with hot mix asphalt. Remove, then replace. Enter the depth at 4 inches. Notice that there is both a cost and a structural value associated with this new treatment because we're adding material. Then, on the next line, we'll represent the 3 inches of hot mix asphalt, or HMA, that would be untouched by the proposed process. There's no cost associated since the material was already there, and the existing HMA section is still adding some strength. Same goes for our existing 4-inch granular base. We'll leave that untouched from the current pavement criteria. Now that we have our cross-section and proposed mill and fill solution entered, we're left with our totals below. Let's compare another approach along the right-hand side. What if, instead of removing and replacing the deteriorated asphalt, we instead recycled those 4 inches using cold in-place recycling? The in-place method will allow complete reuse of my materials and eliminate removal costs. We'll also plan to put 2-inch wearing course of new hot mix over the top of my CIR. So let's represent that as the top layer. Note the cost and strength numbers populating. Next, we'll represent that CIR process at 4 inches for our second line. Then enter the remaining layers, which already exist. Once everything is entered, we can compare totals. Along the right, the CIR method grants a high overall structural number, 3.32 versus 2.76, at a lower cost of only $16.90 per square yard. Looking at the overall project cost, those numbers really add up. Use this calculator to easily explore other options as well. For example, if I can find another $300,000 in the budget, I may be able to apply bituminous full depth reclamation to reclaim a full 8 inches of asphalt for an even stronger cross-section. As you try out new approaches, you may need more space. Just hit Add Row wherever more lines are needed. Empty rows are not included in calculations. Once I'm satisfied with my comparison, I can easily export my work to an Excel document or email and share with others. Learn more about the structural calculator and the many recycling and reclamation treatments available at roadresource.org. Imagine each line in this calculator represents a treatment on a given layer of pavement. The first thing we'll have to do for our pavement is remove that 4 inches of deteriorated asphalt. Notice that there's a cost associated with removing that material over the size of our project. The auto-populated cost reflects numbers that are a national average.